Hi, this is Alex with livinginthenews.com, and before I get going, I want you to know that there's going to be a twist here. You might want to stick around for a moment to see this twist. There's definitely going to be a twist here. But I have one of my friends, and I wish I could express to you why he's one of my friends, because there's lots of reasons. But I have my friend Hunter Mizar here, and first of all, Hunter, introduce yourself. Tell them a little bit about who you are, what you've done recently in our community, and just kind of give them an overview, a little bit about you. I know you just came off a board. Tell them a little bit about that.
Sure. My name's Hunter Mizar, and I moved to Mizar 10 years ago.
Wow.
And when I moved here, I came because I became the pastor of the Nazarene Church. So through the years, I've had a chance to be involved in several things. The main one has been Love Inc. Mm-hmm. And so you and I have been friends ever since then.
Yeah, we have been.
Kind of what's amazing to me is Living in the News started about the time that I showed up in the town.
At the same time.
So
exactly.
I think that's cool. We've been following each other.
That's right.
But we had a conversation because we do a big drive-through nativity. Mm-hmm. And you were gracious enough to come and do a promo for us.
It's a wonderful event.
And so you and I were talking about the dynamics of the community and how they're changing a little bit.
Yeah.
And some people feel a little unrest with that. My opinion has been, though, this has been such a wonderful community.
Yeah.
I mean, my family has loved it. I've raised 2 kids here, and my wife teaches at the school, and so we've loved Mizar.
Yeah.
And I'm convinced that people are moving to Mizar because it's such a great community.
I absolutely agree with you.
And so you and I are kind of on that same page,
absolutely.
And I think you and I are similar in that we're looking for positive people.
Absolutely.
Because it seems like, sometimes the negative people are the loudest, and they may be the minority, but they kind of get more attention. And so you and I were starting to talk and said, there's so many great people doing so many great things in our community.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great to highlight them?
Yeah.
And so out of that kind of came this conversation from you and me to say, why not highlight some of that stuff on Living in the News?
Absolutely.
And almost do like a show, if you would, highlighting great people that live in our community, live in our area, and just hear about what they're doing. So
here comes the switch. This is not going to be my show. Hunter has graciously accepted to have a show to feature people, and it's not only going to be Mizar, which we love Mizar a lot, as he mentioned, but it's going to be a tri-county, maybe even 4-county area, and focus on people that are doing good, that have maybe they're just doing good, maybe they struggled in life and now they're doing good, just a variety of things. And Hunter is a very kind, compassionate, tolerant human. I mean, I could name several other of the virtues in life that you have, and you really are a good human, and you like good humans. You like, as you mentioned, to feature good humans. And so here's the really awkward part, and I'm going to share that I really feel this is awkward. He said, Alex, would you be my first interview? Oh, and you actually mentioned that to me, and my mind's gone all over the place. I mean, it is awkward for me. I'm the type of guy, like a photographer, that doesn't mind being behind the camera,
right, and
doesn't mind being behind, and especially since sometimes I feel like I look like a hobo, and a lot of people have mentioned, wow, you look like a hobo, and so I'm not necessarily comfortable with this part. From going on, I'm going to be really comfortable because I'll be behind the camera.
Yeah.
So here's the switch, and we're turning it over to my friend Hunter.
Yeah. So to start things off, I thought, what a great thing, but to feature Alex. So I'm just curious, Alex, tell me the story of why you started Living in the News.
Well, I'll tell you. So I've lived in 10 states altogether, including Idaho.
Okay.
And we've traveled around. We've had some experiences, but I wanted to come home. I wanted to raise, particularly my last son, that was still in school here in Idaho. There's so much challenges, and people know that we're a little bit sheltered here in a way. We're a little bit sheltered here.
In a good way.
In a good way. In a very good way. And I kind of wanted my son to have this experience, and my wife says, we come here once for a short time, and then we left again, and then we both decided, Mizar's where we need to be. That Mizar, out of all the 10 states I've lived in and the places I've been, I love all of them, but not as much as the Treasure Valley. And I love this valley, and I love Weezer in particular. And
give me the timeline. When are we talking?
so I think we've been home to Weezer now for about 15 years, and I did a few things. We sold a business, and so we had a little bit of freedom for a little while, but I'm not a good man with finances, so I had to go back to work. So I think I did a few things. I worked for the Signal for a little bit,
Okay.
and I worked for MT Communications for a little while, then I worked at Farmers Mutual Telephone for a while. But in between MTE and Farmers Mutual Telephone, we started, which was a little over 10 years ago, we started Living in News. And Living in News got to a point where I couldn't live out of town. It was Washington County based primarily at that time, and I needed to be here. So I told them that I couldn't work here anymore and came back. And really it was, being in the right place at the right time and doing the right thing.
Sure.
And, we make this free to the community. So it's everybody can access it, and it's paid for by advertisers and some of these advertisers don't hardly ask for anything. They just want to be part of giving the community the news, which is really kind of cool. And I try to keep saying, hey, come on, we need to get you some content, but a lot of them just want to make sure that that the community gets access to all this free information.
Now, was there a model that you kind of used it, or was this just
heavens
from
no.
Alex's mind?
Yeah.
I mean, it's grown and it's changed and it's become so many different things. So
Yeah,
how did you get the ideas of what you're doing today?
So I always thought that I've always been kind of an entrepreneur one way or another. I can't have a job. There's no way. I've tried to have jobs and I just can't have a job. And I could name several jobs that it's just, if they want me there from this time to this time and they want me to do this one job, I can't do that. That's too hard. I mean, you have no idea how much I respect people that are fulfilling jobs, getting jobs done, because I can't do it.
Uh-huh.
And so that being said, I've always looked for ways that I could have the flexibility. We owned a shopping center maintenance company in Florida, and it was great because I could be home when my kids were before they went to school, and I could be home when my kids got home from school. And sometimes I'd take my kids and say, come on, we got work to do.
Yeah.
And that was a good thing too. And so to have that kind of flexibility, be home with my kids, be home with my wife needs me, if my wife calls me and says, hey, I need you, I've always liked that, and I have that flexibility. And literally I'd be a lousy employee. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Now, you've been involved in several things in our community, though. I mean, we had a partnership for a little while with the Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
I mean, tell us some of the other ways that you've been involved in some things.
Boy, I've been in the Chamber of Commerce for a long time, and I really love the Chamber of Commerce.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think the Chamber of Commerce should be like the hub of a community. But, we are here in the Weezer Activity Center for Seniors, and I was on that board. I was a president of that for a while. I've been on, Weezer Little Theater, Onion Skins. I certainly love the arts. And so many other boards that I've either been on or been very supportive of, because I just love this community. And I think that everybody needs to thrive in the best way they possibly can. And I try, and our team tries to make that happen. And now you're part of the team. That we try to help our organizations and our community nonprofits grow. And now we're out here at like Ontario Chamber of Commerce and Fruitland Chamber of Commerce and Payette Chamber of Commerce, and also with some of these others. I mean, we just got in with I just lost the name, but I'll think of it here in a moment. But so many other large organizations, and we have advertisers all over the place. And so these people are people that see the value of it, and almost, I would say 90% of our advertisers came to us. We didn't go to them. And so it's been really good. I don't even know if I answered your question. I don't even remember what the question was.
No, yeah, you're telling me all those things you're involved in. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep, that's great.
So it's just kind of nice to to reach out and be part of the community. I feel like, who could have a better job than being active in the community all the time? Your job is to be active in the community, and that's what I like.
Yeah. I got to tell you, I watch Living News all the time,
Thank you.
and you are all over the place.
We are. Yeah,
I mean, I
crazy.
think there's got to be 3 or 4 Alexes going all these places. So my question is, you're so busy going to all these communities, covering news events, and then all of a sudden you grew out the hair, you grew out the beard, and suddenly Nick emerged.
Yeah.
So tell us about Nick.
So I've been doing Santa Claus for years.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, let me share one story with you. We were in Florida, and we ran out of candy canes. And I decided, I said, I know this is going to be weird, I know this is going to be fun, and it's going to be awkward, it's going to be, outside the box. But I decided, as Santa, I mean, I could have sent somebody into Walmart, but I said, I'm going to walk into Walmart, and I'm just going to go in and go get some candy canes. And it was fun. Hey, Santa! Hey, Santa! It was fun. And, we all like to be appreciated.
Yeah.
And that's what it felt like. Everybody, it's kind of a little bit, you could feel a little bit like a rock star when you're walking in. But that didn't get me as much as we were at the register, and my wife was paying because I couldn't carry a wallet. And this little girl comes up to me. And this little girl walks up to me, and she just reaches her arms up to me. And I just pick her up and I hold her, and she starts crying.
Oh, wow.
And she's just so happy that I'm there, and her mom is crying. And I'm thinking, in my mind, I'm thinking, what's happening here? And her mom comes up to me, she says, we've tried to get her next to a Santa, and she won't do it. You're the first
Wow.
Santa that she's ever gone to. And it was such, being Santa, or being Nick as I am now,
Yeah.
I respect that name Santa a lot. And, I know what the meaning of Christmas is, but I love the joy of that also.
Yeah.
But being that person it grows in your heart so much.
Right.
And I stopped doing it when I came to Weezer because my friend Joe knows Santa, and he was the one scheduling Santa's appointments in this area a lot. But as soon as Joe found out that I'd been doing Santa, he says, Santa's so busy, would you help him out?
I love it.
And so we started taking turns, at the Vendome Festival of Trees and other things. He'd send me to people's houses or businesses, and Joe started scheduling Santa and me.
Yeah.
And so it was such a good relationship. And then one day I got a new costume, and I couldn't find the right wig for it. And I said, it can't be, that white. It has to look a little bit more real. And so we thought we'd try it. And that was the year that my granddaughter was born. And I don't know if you saw the picture of the kneeling Santa.
Oh, yeah.
It was my granddaughter in that
Wow.
picture. Yeah. And that was because that's always been my favorite symbol is Santa kneeling at the Christ child. And so that was such an important thing for me. And we did it out at Chandler's Ranch. We had a lamb, and we had a little calf, but the calf wouldn't stop jumping around, so we had to take him out of the picture because we didn't want to hurt the child. But that was it's been going on for a long time, and just the different suit made me go ahead and grow this out a little bit, and I really love it. And if my dream comes true, I don't know that it'll be a Sprinter van, but we were thinking about some kind of van to travel around, and maybe in my retirement years do Guess Who's Coming to Town, maybe in a van and travel around and go to children's hospitals, go to the veterans, and go to veterans hospitals, go to a lot of these places that Santa can go to year round, and bring joy to people. There's nothing better than bringing joy to people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, I love it so much, and I was so grateful that Joe said that Santa was busy and we need your help,
Yeah.
and I was able to start doing it here in Weezer.
Sure.
And I don't do a lot in Weezer because Joe schedules Santa here a lot,
Right.
And so, but Ontario's Frosty Fest, you got Fruitland's Christmas Down Main Street, which is all wonderful, and other places that I got more requests than I could do this year.
Yeah.
But I hope
But
to
yeah,
do more.
you're out year round, right?
Yeah.
I've seen you in the
Yeah.
summer.
Yeah, we
you know?
did some stuff. We've been, all the way to the West Coast, and then we made it all the way to Mississippi this year, and we tried to do some summer Santa stuff. Yeah, it was
that's
kind of
cool.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
That's great.
Yeah, it was fun.
So, obviously, I found you on Facebook. But tell me some of the social media platforms or ways that they can see either Living in the News or Nick.
So obviously, we've had some weird stuff happen to our business recently, and we've had some things that are not perfect. But we are on Facebook, and we have almost 17,000 followers on Facebook.
Yeah.
We have an Instagram. We have YouTube. Now YouTube went away for a little while, and we had to start it all over, so there's not very many followers there. But we also have, a couple TikToks, and I lost my phone, so I don't have the Nick TikTok now, but hopefully we'll get that soon. But yeah, so we're on, and when there comes a time that another social media starts, and I always look at different social medias and see if they're good platforms.
Yeah.
But we like to communicate. I don't care what age you are.
Sure.
Whatever age you are, we want to share that information with people, and we have probably over 20,000 followers
Wow.
altogether. Yeah, and it's really become something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they would go to any of those platforms, type in Living in the News.
And we also have
Or
our
they
online
could-
newspaper that's been down for a little while and it's coming
Okay.
back up. Yeah.
What's the address for that?
Livinginthenews.com.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And a lot of people said, hey, it's been down, and it has.
Okay.
We had an incident where we had to take it down for a little while. It actually caught a virus, and it was a good virus. So we thought we had it fixed, and
Okay.
then found out we didn't have it fixed. And
Yeah.
so
Okay.
Tiffany, our IT girl, did a great job and got it all done. And I think in the next week or two it'll be back up again. So it was funny because I think social media is the driving force of everything.
Okay,
But
yeah.
sometimes I'll post things on the online newspaper, and I'll post it in the morning. I might do it like 11 o'clock at night, post something on the online newspaper, and then at 11 or in the morning I think, okay, I'll post it on social media so people start seeing it. And I look, and it already has a couple thousand views.
Yeah.
And I haven't even posted on any social media platform. So the online newspaper itself is really strong.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's
Well, I just,
Amazing.
to make a plug, people have been following Living in the News for a long time, but go follow Nick too. Because,
Oh, my
I've seen you with Sasquatch.
Yeah.
I've seen you with the Grinch. I mean,
Yeah,
I
it's fun.
love it. It's
yeah,
fun.
It's been fun.
So,
And
yeah.
we have good friends that, we have great Grinch and a great Sasquatch, and
Yeah.
and they're my friends, and we like to do things together. So yeah, it'll be great. And Sasquatch and I are hanging out at the end of the month on Saturday, the end of the month. So it'll be fun.
I love it.
Yeah, yeah. So, thank you for being my friend.
Well, I just want to say, you have been on the spot so many times, and I think especially during Snowmageddon, when
yeah.
you were all over the place giving us updates. I mean, your information's always right on the cusp of when things are happening, and
Thank you.
there's a lot of people
Yeah.
that you have helped promote. There's a lot of things that you've helped
Thank
raise
you.
awareness of,
Thank
and
you.
it has been tireless. The amount of hours you've put in, we're grateful as a community that we have you and that you've made this service free
Don't
and
make
done
me
so
cry.
much. So
Don't make me cry.
You don't get enough props though. So
Thank you so
thank
much.
you for what
Thank
you've
you.
done. That's
Yeah.
why we want to do this interview to start with, though. Is,
Thank you so much.
This is amazing.
I love our communities, and like I said, not just Weezer, which is my home, the place that I have chosen, but the Treasure Valley. We have so many good people in this valley that are just wonderful, and I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to be doing this, and
Yeah.
I appreciate you taking a few minutes. I still found it awkward to talk about myself, but thank you. And we have friends, good friends together, and we're good friends, and yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Yeah. So, we're starting this off, and in the next couple months, we're going to be rolling out some videos.
Yeah,
so be
absolutely.
watching for that.
Yeah.
We're calling this video series A Great Day.
Good. That's
And
a
so,
great name.
A Great Day is going to be coming out there with video highlights. And I've never told you this,
Okay.
but I want you to know, every time I go to Idaho Pizza, I have to stop at the wall.
You're not going to tell everybody
And
that.
you've got to stop as soon as you walk in, and there's a picture of Alex from the 70s, I'm guessing,
Yeah,
in
nice.
bell bottoms And it warms my heart every time I see young
Oh,
Alex
no.
rocking
Yeah.
bell bottoms and looking good.
My
friend.
daughter sold her soul for a pizza and gave him that picture. So they asked for one, and I wouldn't do
Yeah,
it. And
no,
then my
it's-
daughter went and got
I
one.
love that
Yeah.
picture. So
All right.
stop at Idaho Pizza when you get your pizza. Take a look at Alex. It's great. It's wonderful.
Fez. It looks like Fez. All right.
Well, Alex, thanks for this opportunity. Really,
Absolutely.
thank you. Thanks for sitting down with me, and
Absolutely.
thanks for all that you do. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. And thank all of you for watching livinginthenews.com.